Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, depending on where you're tuning in from in this amazing world. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful Tuesday. It's our first live stream of the week, and we're coming in hot, guys. As you can see from the thumbnail, shocking move about to happen for Bitcoin. But the biggest news of all is that Bitcoin has done absolutely nothing today. That's right. It's been a difficult market to trade and even just to speculate on, because we're sort of just floating around right now and just consolidating, and everybody's wondering and wants to know what's happening next. Are we going lower? Are we breaking bullish? Did Bitcoin bottom? Is that the end? And the fact of the matter is there are a whole lot of theories. You guys know I love a good thesis on this show, and I do have my thesis, and that is, one of them has to do a lot with the fact that we had the very first bull market ever for Bitcoin in quantitative tightening conditions, meaning not optimal, not injecting liquidity, very difficult economic conditions. And we've never had that before. So evidently now, as we're transitioning into a period where the Fed will be injecting liquidity, the market structure bill is set to pass, right, for the Clarity Act for banks and regulation. All of this stuff is on the brink of happening, including the bullish macro factors. There's no doubt in my mind that this will take a turn, for the better. But the question is when and how do you survive the periods in between? And that is why trading is so amazing. And that's why we go to the charts, guys, because what we can't figure out with a pure thesis alone, a thesis is great for long-term, for midterm. Maybe we're going to know what's going to happen, in 4 to 5 months from now, based on, whatever we might be looking at. But the charts are telling us clues now. And we have a very talented lead analyst here at the Hive and a very talented team who can interpret those clues and those puzzle pieces to come up with the most accurate picture of what could happen next, right? And what is happening now. So on this show today, we are going to go over just exactly what we stand to see next week, what is important close for this week, what all the stuff you guys need to know in order to navigate this market better. And the great thing is that even though the market seems to be just moving sideways, we've been able to call and nail the absolute best setups. Guys have been making money during this time where Bitcoin is just floating around aimlessly and we don't know what the direction, but we've been nailing it in the group. We're going to show you all the results now. It's been absolutely fantastic there in the Hive. We got a great community and a great crew, and we're expanding and we're adding new channels, guys, as we've talked about here. Our fitness channel, we're going to do a 90-day challenge, so many things, because bear markets are for building. They're for building. They're for getting your strategy together. They're for investing. You can think of them, to many, it's a curse and they're upset. We're all upset. We all want to see Bitcoin go up and crypto go up, right? But on the flip side, it's also a massive opportunity that we didn't think we were going to get. So we're going to help you play that to the best of your ability by getting the best, absolute best information and facts and clues in the charts that nobody else is talking about. So if you like that alpha, smash the like, hit the subscribe, and share this stream, guys, because we got a whole lot to share with you today, basically. And I don't know how many lives we're going to be doing this week, so we're going to have to go over as much as we possibly can. And for the rest, you're just going to have to join the group to get the setups in real time. We've been doing some scalp trades, some swing trades, and absolutely crushing it. So on the news front, we have a new Jim Cramer in the house. That's Drake, who put a $1 million bet on the Patriots winning the Super Bowl. Guys, did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you bet on it on Polymarket or anywhere else? And did you, who's your team? Who's your team? I don't know. I think these things are really interesting. And what did you think of the halftime show? I know it's controversial. I'm not in America, so I got to soak up all of the US vibes, and you guys, you give me the juice, right, of what's happening over there. But so that's one of the news. China orders banks to reduce US Treasury holdings. We know there's lots of scare around the collapse of fiat and the de-risking of the dollar. But the fact of the matter is, if you leave the dollar, where are you going to put your money, right? So right now, there's not really another viable option, and the dollar reigns supreme. Obviously, Bitcoin is the option, right? But I'm talking about big money, liquid money. I think that there's a lot of noise out there right now. There's geopolitical tensions, there's tariffs, but I do believe we're in the middle, and let me know if you believe this too, of a great reset, of a cleansing in the world, of a refresh, a restarter. Like, old ways are dying, and that does not happen fast. and it never happens in a smooth line. There's a lot of potholes and a lot of bumps along the way, right? So that's what we're in the middle of doing, and we need to just let it play out. Binance buys 4,225 Bitcoin worth 300 million. They keep scooping up Bitcoin for their SAFU. How do you guys say it? SAFU fund. So that's happening. Michael Saylor, of course, the GOAT, he keeps buying. He said that Strategy is going to be buying every single quarter. Tom Lee's BitMine buys 40,600 Ethereum worth 82 million. Now, just remember, I like Tom Lee and I think his analysis is amazing, but he is paid to, go out there and market ETH. So he's paid a very, very handsome sum. It's publicly filed. It's about 15 million up front, 35 million if he hits certain targets. So, it's important to listen to what people are saying, because a lot of the people follow Tom Lee and institutions and big money, and it makes a difference. But the best thing to do is just to tune into the channel and look at the charts, because that's going to give you the most accurate picture of what's going to be happening now, not 5 years from now. Right? We also like to go over 5 years from now, but we need to know what is happening now. And don't worry, we're going to get there, but you must stay tuned to find out. So then we've got Coinbase, Coin beating quarterly earnings, surged. Everybody's betting on Polymarket that they're going to beat their quarterly earnings. And that just went up to 73% chance. So we might be going over Coin today. And, Fed Governor Waller says crypto dips have happened before and crypto crashes are normal. Years ago, if you said Bitcoin was 10,000, you'd say, oh my God, this is crazy. Yes, we all know that, right? We're to the point where we understand that crypto and Bitcoin is here to stay, and it's taken over in a big way and might even become the world reserve currency. Again, I want to stress the point that what the question is, how do we optimize and how do we position ourselves for such an enormously generational wealth amassing opportunity, right? And that's what our focus and goal is on this channel. House Democrats seek to overturn President Trump's tariffs. More turmoil, more noise on Canada. President Trump says the U.S. economy can grow 15% if Kevin Warsh does his job right as Fed chair. Okay, already putting the pressure on him. Another weird piece of news, you guys. Sam Bankman-Fried says FTX was never bankrupt. He never filed for it. He said the big lawyers went in and picked it apart to try to sell it and pick it apart to make a lot of money on it. So he's trying to have a retrial, which is crazy. So there's that. And then we've got Treasury Secretary Bessent calls to pass crypto market structure legislation. They're still pushing for that. And Goldman Sachs just disclosed their holdings of $2 billion worth of crypto. Okay, Bitcoin and ETH, but the other two toppers on the list, guys, XRP and Solana, over 100 million of each. It's happening. Altcoins aren't dying. Some will, but not the good ones. Because these institutions, they're ready to stack them, and they are stacking them now behind the scenes. OTC, meaning over the counter, right? The big institutions, when they make buys, they don't do it right on the market to move the coins. They don't want to do that. They do it over the counter. Okay, so you're not going to feel the effects of that when that's actually happening. And then, our alpha in the channel, as always, we got a lot of updates. Bitcoin has confirmed 4 straight red months in a row, the longest red monthly streak since 2018. Now, sellers are starting to get exhausted, but are they exhausted yet? That's the question. So we got a lot more alpha to throw your way, but I'm going to have my co-host and highly esteemed analyst join the show. So Rob, and our spirit animal, welcome to the show.
I'm shy. I'm camera shy. I want to say hi. What are you doing?
So cute. Isn't she cute, you guys? I love her. She adds like a lightness and a spark to our day when we're just bored with Bitcoin. We just come on here and we get some smiles. So I hope that's brightening your day. She's our spirit animal here in the hive. And that's good. So before we get into it, Rob, I just want to shout out everybody who's the real ones. The real ones, you're tuning in. You know who you are. Raw Food Writer, let's go. Harshith. Bitcoin might drop to 40K. Yes, we are seeing 40K a lot now. We're even seeing 30K now. So ADA would easily fall below 15 cents. So do you think it can get back above $1 ever again? And were you saying ADA would hit $6 this bull run? LOL. Now, the $6 target, Harshith, came from fib extension levels. So that was back when we were at another level, and we did not get that altcoin run yet. That's not to say that it won't happen at some point. But like things change, and I'm still holding my ADA for a long term. I have a long-term bag, even though I trade as well. And I think ADA will do very, very well because Charles Hoskinson is an absolute visionary and a great leader. And we're potentially going to bring all of that liquidity to Bitcoin if ADA acts as the bridge. I did a podcast with him on this actually. So if you want to know more about that, go and check it out. Yes, we are in a bear market. That's absolutely right. And that is the point of this show today, guys. I'm fired up because we're going to teach you how to make money in the bear market. That's the point here. That's the point. Neil, I think we're going into crypto winter. We have already been in crypto winter, Neil, but you are right. And it might not be over yet. And we might have some time left in crypto winter, but that's okay because we're going to weather that winter together and we're going to absolutely crush it and get ready for the spring and summer. Okay. Great mentors, I would add. Lobo. Yeah, what's up? Welcome to the chat, Neil. Just buy when it hits the rock bottom, just dollar cost average. Yes, we're looking for that rock bottom. And Rob's going to help us understand what to look for in a bottoming pattern and reversal, right? And Raw Food Writer says, I think the market turns green when Clarity Act gets passed. Yeah, I mean, it's a massive thing. It should theoretically make it green, but it hasn't really been behaving that way lately. But obviously, there's a fundamental shift when that market structure passes because banks will be able to partake in this. And that is a whole another level of liquidity, right? So yeah, I mean, it should make a difference. So many were put off by the halftime show. We're tired of that crap. All right, well, say it like it is. You say it like you feel. Rob, did you see the halftime show?
Nope.
Well, those of you who did, let us know what you thought. There's a lot of controversial stuff about it because it was all in Spanish. I understood because I speak Spanish, but I understand that a lot of people in the US were upset because they didn't understand anything going on. And I understand wanting to unify. Guys, I think this is just all more, it's just like amplifying and highlighting the tension that is in the world right now. And it's sort of like adding to all the uncertainty of everything, right? And as Rob said, the big players, they don't like to buy into uncertainty. So Watchman says Tom Lee partnership with Mr. Beast is going to be crazy. Yeah, I mean, brilliant marketing move there. Brilliant marketing move. I think I hold some Bitmine. So maybe we'll have a look at that at some point. But imagine the amount of people that will come into crypto once the news gets spread. Yeah, we'll see. It seems like people, they need some faith. They need basically the markets, retail gets in when the markets start pumping and going crazy. Unfortunately, not you guys, because you're on the right show at the right time in the right place. Jeannie, welcome to the show. Don't worry, you're not late. You're just right on time. We're talking about the good stuff. Megan Moss, halftime show is great. Not everything is for everyone. Okay, and that's the thing. I think that people are split down the middle. I do like Bad Bunny. I think he's really great. I think he's a great performer. I just understand a lot of people were put off or upset because they couldn't understand it. And so, but yeah, it's just, for me, again, it just highlights and echoes the tension that we have in the world. And I feel like the commentary on things is more towards splitting people apart and making things, amplifying, the tension between instead of the unification of, and that's also contributing to a lot of, the unrest in the world. So Jeannie says, we watched the All-American halftime show, Kid Rock. Yeah. Okay. See, lots of different opinions. And I'm telling you, I think they're using this as I don't know. It just feels like there's propaganda to pit people against each other. And it's just weird stuff in the world. So on this show, we all come together and we all unite. We all become one because guess what? In a hive, in order for the beehive to function properly, we all have to work together to make the honey. And also we have to have our queen bees. So ladies, Megan, Jeannie, and Lobo, I think you might be a couple. I don't know, but you guys are, tell me your name, Lobo. Because I've seen you in there, and I'm not sure because you're a girl and a guy in your picture. So I just like to shout out to all the ladies because, it's really special and it really is a male dominant place. And so, it takes a lot of courage to step up and start learning how to trade and come into the world. But we're very, very welcoming here on this channel. So we're very, very happy to have you. Zach says all those halftime shows and even the current Winter Olympic symbolism is demonic, all rituals. Yeah. See, we got a lot of opinions across the board.
I was spending time charting to figure out how to make the group better and to better my life and make money, or I was playing with my kids and doing something enjoyable with them. I'm not very much of a big TV watcher. I think it's a waste of time to watch TV. I'd rather grow my life, my family, and my skill set, or grow somebody or help somebody else. So for me, I actually I didn't watch one football game probably for the last 3 to 4 years. I just found out it was wasting my life, and I'd rather grow in other areas. I do like playing football, though, with my friends. I do play Turkey Bowl during Thanksgiving. We go out and play it. Every time I'm done with it, my legs are really sore. So I do like playing, but I don't like watching.
Well, one thing I will say, Rob, is, I think trading and like group trading, even like being in all of it together is actually much more fun than watching Netflix all of the time, right? Netflix some of the time, but I think trading is actually a very fun hobby. And when you start to learn and it starts to sink in, you start to get it. Wow. I mean, and if you haven't made it there yet, you will. And especially if you participate in the group. So, Megan, society has forgotten how to deal with people with different opinions. I absolutely, completely agree with you. It's just everything is very, very polarized. I think a moderate approach to everything and just like letting people be, letting people live, let people be. We're all from different backgrounds. We all have different opinions, but we can come here together and have one common united goal. And that, we all want freedom. We want to learn how to trade. We want to learn how to make those skills to empower our lives. And that's mainly what we're focused on this channel. Absolutely. So, you were at the movies during the Super Bowl. I think you might have been the only one in the world, Watchmen. I'm joking. It's just one of the most viewed and watched, show in the entire U.S. or I think maybe world during this time, probably U.S. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, guys. I just brought that up because Bad Bunny. What's his name? Drake made $1 million bet on the Super Bowl and he lost, and they're calling him the new Jim Cramer of the music world. So on that note,
Coinbase does those prediction markets now. Like that's where I was amazed. I was like, I flipped on my Coinbase real quick. I was like, wait a second, prediction markets? They're betting on the Super Bowl here. I'm like, oh wow, Coinbase is really trying to just do all the gambling and stuff there now. So I was just amazed by that.
Yeah. They're very much prediction markets, hyper liquid, all of those things where people are allowed to play and bet freely and do their thing. They're all kind of like taking off now in a big way. So that'll be interesting to see. And I'm sure we'll find a play and a sort of an edge for that in the group on certain tokens. Right. So
yeah, something to help us some way. If I could sit there and figure out a way to chart them, that'd be perfect.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Charting works for anything. Charting is basically whenever you like a chart and you look at it, you're looking at mass emotions of everybody combined from retail to institutional to bots to AI. So it's just a bunch of mass emotions all mixed together in one. That's basically what you're charting whenever you kind of look at it that way. So, and it always, no matter what a chart's made from, it's usually the same thing. So stock market, crypto, you can chart Rolex watches. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff out there, and it's just all based off people's emotions and what they do during them emotions.
And that's true. That's true. The chart's a reflection of human emotion. I couldn't agree with you more. I just had a side thought. Okay, sorry, I'll stop this tangent soon. But do you guys remember the halftime show with Snoop Dogg and all the OG rappers and stuff like that? And Dr. Dre came out. I thought that was super cool. The reason I'm bringing this up is because his son, Cordell, who's a friend of ours and has been on the show, with Snoop Dogg's dad, which was really epic. I mean, like if you grew up with that, maybe I'm older than some people. I find that like kind of rap just like super epic. And he thought there's no way the NFL will ever let me be on a show like that. That's what Snoop Dogg thought. And his son was like, no, you got to think bigger than that. We got to get everybody together. So I think like that's a really cool mentality to have, that nothing can stop you and nothing is impossible. And he made it happen. Right. And so he talked about it on my podcast. And I thought, that's the mentality we need to have. We need to shoot big, aim high, and just go for absolutely everything you want to go for in life. All right. That's my motivational message for Tuesday. Let's jump into the charts. What do you say?
Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and give honor to some of our winners and stuff. I think my screen.
Oh, right. I almost forgot about that. I was on such a rant about the world. Guys, we want to show you some of our bangers. Okay, I'm going to put it up here on the big screen. Shout out to a lot of our members here who contributed to some of these games. What do you say, Rob? Can I start showing them?
Yep.
All right, so we've got 100% on SUI short. So these are all, recently. This is today. Another one today. Bitcoin 36x. Okay, that is a short. So we got 48% on ton. Some of these are dated. So these are all today. Actually, these are just from today when seemingly the market is doing nothing. Massive call by Rob on ASTER. It's holding up despite the market conditions. Apto short 86%. Guys, these are the wins coming out of the group, right? Like these are all of the wins coming out of the group in just the past couple of days. It's unreal. Look at that. Plume for 221%. This can absolutely change your life if you let it and if you really dig in deep. So all you guys here who are tuning in, I mean, you are the real ones. You guys are going to knock it out of the water. I'm not kidding you now. So just keep going. Don't give up and just keep tuning in, keep grinding and keep studying, because you got one of the best mentors you could ever have in this space, right, Rob? So
what's that?
That you're absolutely one of the best mentors in the space, and that everybody tuning in, they should just keep going and they should count on, like you don't often get access to somebody like that who can help you level up your trades, who can help you with your ideas. And I just think it's absolutely amazing how much the group is growing and, all the good feedback.
Yeah, I mean, definitely get in the group. We're here to help you. We want to make sure you guys get better. We're going to make sure you're taking wins, not taking or taking losses fast, and make sure you don't turn them into big losses, and just learn the game faster. And that's just one of the things that's there's always in anything that you're learning. If you treat this like you're going to school or you're starting a business, I kind of relate to trading as starting a business or going to school. You got to invest some time. You got to invest some money potentially, which we give a little bit of we give you some money to sit there and play with when you first join the hive, of course. But anyway, that's kind of like your tuition to start learning here. And if like you know any business owner or a contractor or anything like that who does contracting for a living, I have a buddy who was doing snow plowing, right? And he was plowing a bunch of driveways, and he didn't go out and scope out one driveway before it snowed, before the big snowstorm. And he was going down, and he missed the driveway, and there was a stump there, and it ripped apart the bottom of his truck. And that costed him $4,000 to fix his truck afterwards, right? And and he charged the client $300 to go snow plow their driveway for that day. So he took a big loss. And trading is sometimes the same way, but we try to minimize losses, not take big losses. But it just doesn't matter what field you go into. There's going to be wins, there's going to be losses, and you just have to build your mindset up to that as well too. And you see all the wins that are coming in the group, and it's just very strong. Once you get the technique, once you get the call outs, once you build the mindset, you're going to be winning consistently, whether market go up, market go down, because you can make money either way in this market. Market go down, awesome. Digits in your account goes up. Market goes up, awesome. The digits go up in your account as well too, just depending if you know how to long and short. And it's learning how not to be bearish, not to be bullish, and just trading the trend that we're in. Like there's always a one-day trend. The one-day trend is either going to be up or down, and you trade that trend until it changes. There's times where you're going to sit there and be feeling like right now we're extremely oversold, and it's like, oh man, this is definitely a reverse. But a lot of people will try predicting the reversals, and I just found, and that's including me. I always like trying to predict reversals as well too, and get it in like as low as you possibly can. And I just started realizing like if you just trade the trend till it reverses, there's less chances of you taking a loss, and it's just a lot mentally easier, and the trade just is in your favor during those times. So I just keep trading the trend down because it's been down until we get some type of a reversal. I have an idea for reversal coming up here soon, which we'll go over, that I posted in group already that we're kind of waiting for. But if it doesn't play out that way, we're still going to be shorting until we get that confirmed reaction, the confirmed signals as well too.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And so speaking of reversals, let's have a look at Bitcoin and see just where we're at, and if we are potentially heading for another leg down, or what it looks like to you, Rob, because I know that's what a lot of people want to know. Before we jump into the charts, guys, the link to the group is in the description. It says Hive Verify or Join Hive Club. You'll go to the bot, and you will just have to sign up for BYDFI. Copy and paste your user ID and hit verify, and you're ready to go, and you're in the group. That's it. Still open for free, and I'm going to keep reminding you until it's not. So I hope you do take advantage. Tell the people that you love, because you want to get everybody in that you possibly can, because this can be life-changing stuff, and it will be life-changing stuff. So we're happy to have you guys as members, and let's dive right into it.
All right, so we're just going to go ahead and jump right into Bitcoin. I said one chart pulled up here. Where'd it go? It was this one right here, I think. All right, so yeah, Bitcoin today. So this chart right here we made off of Monday's high and Monday's low. So that today's Tuesday, right? Yeah. So right here and right here. So I got the wicks on there, and just one move on me. There we go. It did move on me. So this was Monday's high, Monday's low yesterday, and we're basically just keeping that range right now. So right now we're just kind of seeing what happens in this range. We're waiting to see if it breaks above or beneath. And as of right now, I'm gonna say the probabilities that we break down is in the favor due to. One, we bearishly retest the 1-day 9. It's still pushing. It's still pointing down, which is pushing the price action down, not the 1-day SMA 9 caught up. So right now we don't have our buy signals yet. We look at our oscillators here. I mean, it looks like it's trying to get close. It looks like we're getting up there, but this is starting to bearishly cross right at the 50 level. So sometimes you do get those fake outs, kind of just like over in this area right here. So you look at this area right here, we kind of had that bounce right there, and then it kind of came back down, and then we got kind of lift off on it. So it looks like we could potentially be doing something like that. And we haven't broke over the 1-day 9 for me to even to attempt a long Bitcoin just yet. And that's what I'm sitting there saying. Right now, this is the 1-day 9 is going to help you know what trend you're in an easy way. If you're under it and going down, creating lower highs, lower lows, stuff like that, you know that in the 1-day time frame, you are in a downtrend until you're not. There's times where we'll get really far beneath it and it bounces back up and they meet, and there are oversold bounces, which we had this big green candle here, oversold bounce, and now we're going sideways, seeing what we want to do. So the question is, what are we going to do? So this is where this comes really important to me. So our last leg down, our RSI. Actually, I'm just going to go. Actually, I'm going to zoom in because I like the 12-hour chart for this one, but it's going to be the same thing for the 1-hour chart. But I really like the 12-hour chart because it really explained it. I think it really shows a better picture using the stotch and everything like that. And I have this in group as well too. So of course, we're using the 1-day SMA9. I want to turn off the SMA9 as of right now, so we're not going to talk about that as all. So we like confluence. We like looking at different ideas to have the most confluence as we can have. So in the 12-hour chart right now, we are looking at this trend right here, where all these attach right here. You have we're going off candlestick body closes right now. So you can also turn on, if you want to make the chart yourself, just go to line graph and just connect all the main pivots, and you're going to have this pattern right here. So in my opinion, what it looks like to me is we are going to go, before we rally back up and have our, I'm going to call it a bear market rally. I believe one is going to happen at some point because they typically do. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. We just keep shorting. But this is where I sit there and I'm like, all right, let's get prepared for one. If it doesn't happen, awesome. We're going to keep short and make money. But if it does happen, we're going to be prepared for it and make money on the bear market rally as well too. Then we'll reverse it when we get up to the upward trend line. So I'm going to go ahead and turn back on the candles though. So what we're looking at right now is we are looking at, if we get rejected and break that Monday's low and we come back down to this trend line, we're going to be making a new low on it. And now if we make that new low, if you look at the RSI, last time the RSI was here, all the way down to here, that's 12.
Wow.
It doesn't go, like there's one, like in 2023, we were down at 12. And I don't know what this is. A Valentine's Day special on TradingView, by the way, everybody. That's what that just told me.
Okay. Hey, jump in while you can.
Yep. So anyway, on the 2020 March, we hit this all-time low all the way down here. And what happens after you hit that? You don't go much lower than that one. So if we make a new low on the price action and we don't go as low, say we just go down like 20, or say we go down to even 15 or something like that, that's going to be considered bullish divergence. If we go down to there and we make a new low in the price action and we start to swing up. And that bullish divergence is probably going to go inside. Like, so when we make that bullish divergence, this Stosh RSI is getting a potential bearish cross right here, not confirmed until we go underneath 80 and get until we go underneath the 80. And when by the time we start getting that RSI all the way down here, we make a new low on it. This Stosh RSI is probably going to be all the way down here, going sideways and looking to pivot up. That's going to help us confirm. Now, once the RSI goes all the way down here and starts pivoting up, and this RSI doesn't make a new low and it's still higher, that's going to be kind of what we're going to be using for our confirmation, whether that's going to be confirmed bullish divergence in the 12-hour chart or not. So we're going to be paying attention to these simultaneously and seeing if we can get a confirmation of bullish divergence. And if we do get that, I think there's going to give us a stronger, higher probability that we're not just getting an oversold bounce like we're just experiencing right now, that we actually might make it a decent bear market rally up to this upper trend line, which by the time that kind of plays out could give us the momentum. Like, I'm not sure how long it would take to play out. It could give us the momentum of us, if it takes a while to play out a little bit to about halfway up, it could be giving us that sell in May and go away. So March, April, May, and we might get up to that trend line, all that type of stuff, not break out, maybe just wick above it because everybody will begin, oh my God, we're bullish. We're in a bull market again. You'll start getting all that sentiment again. We're in a bull market, but we're just trading this trend. And it could be towards the end of Q1 and we get the sell off after that. So we might potentially get a bear market rally. If not, we're just going to keep going down lower and we're going to keep shorting until we get our signals. Now, when we get down to here, we're still going to be looking for our basic signals. It doesn't mean as soon as we get down here that you just want to start buying. It doesn't mean this idea is going to play out. This is just an idea until we get confirmation. What do we look for confirmation? Well, it's just my normal strategy. If you don't know what it is, if you've been watching the show, you should know what it is. But if you don't, jump on in the group and you'll learn what it is.
Right. Yeah, there we go. That's the hook, guys. You got to get in the group in the hive. The link's in the description. It's still free as of right now. So do take advantage. Also, great thing you put that on our radar, Rob. TradingView is having a phenomenal sale right now. It's 70% on their premium, I believe, or plus plan. The link's in the description to that below as well. And you'll also get $15 toward that sale with our link. So if you guys are like jumping into it, or even if you already have a plan, like I'm going to upgrade my plan now with this sale. So do that. Now on this Bitcoin thing, this chart, I like the idea of maybe like another low and that bullish divergence. Actually, what was interesting about what you said is the last time we had sentiment this low was 2023. That's also the last time we had 4 red monthly candles in a row. Just interesting coincidence there, right?
Yep.
At least that's what the data shows. So that is a lot of confluence to say, hey, this is like maybe not the low, but this is a, we're getting down there and we're due for that oversold bounce or bear market rally, whatever it is, very, very soon.
Yeah. I mean, I think we already experienced an oversold bounce. And bear market rally is going to be a little bit more than you're going to get breakouts, you're going to get good long trades. And it's also called sucker rallies because it suckers, because what will happen emotionally to people is this next low is going to sit there. Everybody got kind of bullish on this. Oh, we're back. We're bullish again on this oversold bounce. Then we make a new low. Say we make another long wick and we're underneath $60,000, or we close underneath $60,000 and we bear trap on it and recover it. And people are going to sit there and say, no, it's not a rally. That's going to get back up to this level right here. Oh, no, this is where we got rejected before. And I could tell you because this happened to me. So I'm just going off of what happened to me as well, too. You'll see it happen to other people. Like, nope, this isn't the rally. We're going to get rejected down here, and you're going to see a double top is what people will tell you. Like, nope, this is going to be a double top right here, which a double top is going to happen at in a top of an uptrend, not in a downtrend. So that's what so you gotta remember that's a reversal pattern, not a continuation pattern. So right here you can sit there and say we potentially have like a double bottom or something like that, but not, you gotta make sure you know where you're at in the trend. So then people sit there and say no way, no way. Then it'll break over here, then it'll retest it or not retest it, and like, oh, and it gets up to here and people start getting bullish right around here. And you can sit there and say people will be like, oh, I don't know yet. Let's see if we can break this level right here. And I made that line right there on purpose. There's no, I make everything has a purpose. It's this resistance right here. We break this resistance right here, we're bullish. And then boom, breaks this resistance right here, starts going up, kind of makes a long wick right here, gets somewhere in this area. I'm going off of this high right here. So whenever I'm doing these, I'm not looking over here. I'm actually looking at all this price action over here and just trying to guesstimate what's going on right here. So we get something in this area, goes kind of sideways. Everybody's like, oh, we're bullish, and then it just goes down, and everybody got suckered in this zone right here. This is where everybody buys, and now they're at a loss, and it drops fast, and it's just a sucker's rally, and everybody gets fooled again.
Ooh, there you go, guys. I don't know if we like this reality, but Rob just painted the reality. It is what it is. He doesn't sugarcoat it. He gives it to you like he sees it. And this is a very real scenario that could be happening. So I guess the takeaway here is that we could get that one more lower low before we have the, bear market rally. And then we take it from there, right? You could have a lot of people calling out a lot of different things on X as we're going up, but now you have the real scenario from, does he sound like a man who knows what he's doing, that's been here before and that's seen these scenarios before? This is why I like this channel, because you get it like it is, not like you hope it is, right? So that's a very real scenario to play out. Now, if we did end up doing that, we would definitely probably come back to either test those lows or maybe make another low, seeing as how it is another lower high, right?
Yes. I mean, so right here, I mean, the good old famous saying, now I'm drawing random patterns. I'm going to go ahead and delete all this. I mean, the good old random saying that's very famous in trading, but I don't see very many crypto people follow, which is always kind of surprising to me, is, let's go ahead and draw this again, these two lines here. And just so you guys know, I did make this chart in log scale. So if you're going to remake this chart so that way you can follow this pattern, is in logarithmic scale. So, you know, the biggest saying is, a trend is your friend till the end. So this is the trend that we're in. It's a downtrend, but there's always swings ups and swing downs and downtrends. So this trend is your friend. Treat it as your friend until this trend is broken. Once this trend is broken, then we have to go to something new, right?
Right.
And it's just like that there is so simple, but people start guessing when we're going to break. I don't know when this trend's going to break out. It could break, like, maybe this low doesn't hold and we break underneath this trend and we bearishly retest it and we go down further and straight drop. That could happen. That is potentially able to happen. Maybe we do come up here, we break out this trend, we retest it, and we start going up and going higher. All right, that could happen as well too. Like that, those are all possibilities. But I'm not going to guess when this is going to break out. I'm going to sit there and just tell this trend is going to tell me that it's my friend. It's going to be my friend until we leave this trend.
Right. And it seems like such a simple concept, but it is hard when your emotions kick in and you're like, oh, wow, this actually feels like the bounce. I think we're done. We're going out of this. Emotions run hot, right? So, like, this is just one of the core fundamental things of trading. And in the masterclass that we're going to drop is that, that you must remember this one rule. Now, at what point do things start to look different, Rob, like that we could potentially be actually doing something different and reversing?
So, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and go up to the 1 month chart for that one. So we're going to go high time frame. So yeah, we'll go high time frame for this one. We need to go to a different Bitcoin. This is Binance. No, we can't use Binance. This is the 1 month index chart. So it has all the history. We want to sit there and we want to know all the history on this here on this chart. Let's go ahead. We'll turn these to regular candles. Let's go ahead. I don't remember why I made these white lines. This is for something. I think this was for, all right, maybe we'll go over that another day. I think I know what that was for. So let's go ahead and I'm trying to make sure it's something I need to remember. All right, let's go ahead and delete because I can always remake it. If it's true, I'll be able to find it again is the way I look at it.
Yeah,
all right. So right now what we're going to look at is the Stosh RSI on the monthly time frame, which I did post this in group as well too. And what we are looking at is when we go down to this bearish area, what I'm looking at is when we go underneath the 20 levels, what I'm marking right now on each Stosh RSI. So right here. And this is for the bear market basically starts or has started. And this is basically whenever we go sideways for a certain amount of time until this is different. So what we're looking for is for this to go sideways and to start pointing up, to sit there and say things are looking different. And I'm not going to sit there and map all that time out here because we already have the chart. The chart's already in the group. So let's just go ahead and pull it up. I just want to show you guys that on the live screen here. And we're going to go through a bunch of ideas. So here's the idea that we posted here. Let's go ahead. All right, here we go. So let's go ahead and pull this up. So right here, it is typically after this pullback here, we have a 45% to 50% pullback, and that puts us right around $30,000, $40,000 to $30,000 if we have the same kind of pullback after we get the signal that we are just getting right now. And typically, so this one here was 549 days. I didn't realize I put this so low, but on the bottom here, I have the time on what it takes, and all the other ones were 365 days. So 365
1
days.
year exactly.
Yep. So that puts us in January that we could be starting to make a new. So whenever this goes up like that, that doesn't mean bottom. That means we're starting the uptrend. That means bottom's end and the uptrend is now starting. So so it means accumulation is over. So we're not looking. This isn't a chart. This isn't a chart saying when bottom. This is saying when accumulation is over and we're starting our new uptrend. So
like when reversal, more like it.
Yeah, when the reversal is confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
Is what we're looking at in January. We're looking at, so 4 hour time, the 4 year chart is, or the 4 year, well, why am I not saying it, thinking it right now?
Cycle, the 4 year cycle.
4 year cycle is telling us, when we've gone over in other channels or other videos, is telling us that like November, October, December is probably going to be our bottom to start buying, and during those times is going to be the best bottom buys. But this is telling us when that is the bottom's basic. This chart's going to tell us when the bottom is confirmed to end. We're starting our uptrend. All right, we're starting our uptrend, and we can sit there and just let it ride if you're bought the dip during that time.
Right. Yeah. So we're in February now. We've got lots of time to prepare if this is the case. Maybe it happens before, but this is just what history is telling us, that this accumulation pattern will be taking place throughout the year. Now we'll get some pumps. We'll get some dumps throughout that time. But what this tells us is that we're watching for that reversal within this 1 year time frame, right? So, right, everything that happens in between is sort of like right for trading and right for setting yourself up to capitalize on the next massive move.
Yep. So that's basically what we're looking at there. And I know there's going to be, so a lot of people were talking about how we have to go up and fill a gap and stuff like that. And I was toying with that idea that this bear market rally, we can go up and fill that gap. So I'm not going to remake the charts because I already made them in group, of course. So if you want to see these charts before we even do the lives, or if we don't get a chance to update them in the lives, make sure you join the group so you can see these. So you can see that this is our Bitcoin channel. We post ideas on here, stuff like that one, what we can be kind of looking for, kind of be playing out sometimes. So a lot of people think that this CME gap may get filled. Or wait a second, that's from a previous cycle. I want to do the next one. That this CME gap might get filled. So this is a bear flag that obviously broke down. We experienced this pullback right here, and the question is: are we going to fill this CME gap? Or are we going to go up? And that's the question. And is a bear market rally? And my idea was the bear market rally. We may go fill up that gap. So I started looking at the previous bear market, and we had this CME gap here, and we see CME gap here. This looks like kind of the same bear flag right here. Did we go up and fill it? Yes, we filled it. When? We didn't fill it until like a year later almost. So it wasn't. So this was in May in 2022, and it wasn't filled until April of 2023. Looks like the exact same setup. So just because we have a bear market rally doesn't mean we're gonna go fill the CME gap. So I was having that as a target, and I don't want that to trick me. So I was like, all right. I always like looking at where can I be wrong? How can I be wrong on my idea? And I want to sit there and say, and I want to sit there. All right, so in history, when we had these CME gaps in the bear market, and this is also called, so the stock market, whenever you have like a breakdown and a gap, they are called breakaway gaps. And those typically aren't filled instantly or quickly. Those are filled usually a long time away. So those are, so if we're using some stock market rules on gaps and naming the kind of gap it is, that would be considered a breakaway gap. And then breakaway gaps typically are not filled fast. If they are filled fast, that means usually it's a fake out. So those are also can help you for confirmations as well too in the stock market for confirmed breakouts with volume and all et cetera, candle closes. So with that being said, like say we're somewhere down in this area right here, we put this new low in right here, and then we have a bear. So we're kind of looking the same scenario. We're in this area right here. We kind of like bounced, come back down, put in a new low. Then we go all the way back up here, do a bear market rally. Do we get up to CME gap or don't we is going to be the question, but we'll be using our swing signals to kind of help tell us what we're going to be doing and figure out what we're going to be doing with that one here. So if we don't, it's okay because we're going to be expecting another pullback just like that by using our swing signals and using our signals, and we can open up back short again if this kind of scenario does play out again like it has in the past. And then potentially by next year, we're back in bull market. Like we said, what do we say? January of next year, we're back in bull market mode. Right there, if that plays out same kind of time frame, we're looking at going into the uptrend. And our CME gap that we have right now could be, if you look at it, November 2000. Maybe it comes back new. That I just did a fractal right there, and boom, right there. Maybe it comes back and starts coming alive when you start filling up CME gaps.
Okay, there you go. There is the timeline for what we could maybe see if history rhymes a little bit based on previous cycles, right? So maybe it happens a lot faster. Maybe it follows it to a T. We don't know. But this is the time frame we're looking at based on all previous times in history and all previous bear markets, right? The data that we have. And the last three iterations, I think you said, or two at least, we had 365 days exactly of this sort of bear market bottoming and then accumulation phase. So, so that's the worst of it, guys. That's what we could be looking at for Bitcoin. But in the meantime, we get positioned. We're going to start talking about investing and setting yourself up for, a retirement fund and things like that, because now is the time to do that, not buying at the top of a bull market. So there is a silver lining to getting more time to be able to position yourself. And in the meantime, we're going to be trading and crushing it. We're actually making all of these gains in the group right now while it's very, very difficult market conditions because there's not a whole lot of volatility, right? And still getting a whole lot of gains. I think maybe do we have one setup we can go over for them before we tune out here? Maybe ASTER, what we're looking at in the group, just to get you guys an idea of, some of the stuff that we're doing.
Yeah, so let's see here. ASTER. So this is one setup we have actually as a long in the group. And it is playing out. I mean, whenever you trade altcoins, you don't sit there and, like, for me, we got a breakout and basically a retest. Let me just go ahead. I was looking for a bigger percentage move. I actually got stopped out at break even, but some other people made money in the group, and it did a 14% move. So it did for how the market conditions are, you can't really complain about the percent move.
Right.
That is something to keep your eye on. It does have a lot of bullish news wise. So it is to my rules of it is above the 1-day 9. We came back down 1-day 9. We came back down, got close to retesting it, and we're still going up here, but we're right at this line here where we keep on kind of getting rejected. And I mean, if it was bullish market conditions and wasn't like it was, I think this thing would have already done up 30-40% in group. But we're testing this right here, kind of getting rejected. So we might kind of go sideways. I think the low may be in on ASTER, just due to we might just kind of go sideways right now and kind of just accumulate before I've seen that before, where it's kind of go accumulate after breakout, you accumulate sideways for a little bit before you break out and make a big move up. So I'm kind of waiting for that one here, and we might be waiting for that new low on Bitcoin, and then kind of reversal like we were kind of saying for something like that. So definitely keep your eyes on this token. Right now we're at resistance, so I don't know if I wouldn't suggest until we break above that to buy, or if we come back down and retest on one-day SMA 9, or those kind of meet in the middle somewhere. So just keep your eye on that for kind of the accumulation. Now, if it closes underneath the one-day 9, setup's ruined, get out, don't hold it, because again, one of my things I'm kind of known that people know me for, that I always repeat to people when they sit there and say, should I buy the dip? I go, well, if it loses this level, there's always another 50% dip. You might get a better entry on it.
That's right. That's right. So we got to pay attention to those mechanical rules, guys, and not let the emotions get the best of us. And we are going to be updating a lot of setups in the group as soon as Bitcoin makes a move here. So, I think a great case scenario, although, we don't predict or hope, we just react, but would be that Bitcoin made this new low. So that would help us time also altcoin entries and potentially, get ready for another leg or a bear market rally. Okay. So I think that would be like a pretty ideal scenario. And I guess the last question for the stream today, Rob, is like, what are we looking at for altcoins, right? Would that be a fair assumption that we're waiting to see if Bitcoin does put in that new low, or what are we seeing in the altcoin?
I mean, for a while there, I was killing it watching Bitcoin dominance on trading altcoins, but it seems like Bitcoin dominance is following every move that Bitcoin does. Like every time Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin dominance goes up. Every time Bitcoin goes down, Bitcoin dominance goes down. So it's now back to just following Bitcoin, but it's like today we kind of popped on Bitcoin and altcoins didn't really do anything. And besides, like ASTER went up like 15% and Mon just short squeezed out of nowhere and is rallying. So we have our eyes on that as well too, to see if we come back down and retest the one-day 9 after we break it. But I was watching it because this was one of my eyes, and it broke down. I was like, might bearish retest, so I'm not getting into it. And then it just bear trapped. And now it did a nice short squeeze on it. So it's just some coins are starting to pop, and that means all right, we do want to kind of start taking a look at altcoins, because we got some pops going on, but not many. We want to see if any more kind of follow it. But it just seems like I've been sitting here watching a lot of altcoins, and I've been letting my shorts run. I'm kind of just in swing shorts, and they're playing out. They're hitting TP slowly. It's like a slow bleed, which is more painful sometimes than a fast bleed, because you just don't know what to do. In my opinion, worst case scenario for Bitcoin is to stay between like 60,000 and 70,000 and not do anything, or 65,000, 70,000 for the next 2 months or 3 months and not do anything. I think that would be very painful. I'd rather a big drop, so that way you get your buys, and like if you're sitting there waiting for $40,000, like come on, just get it filled already.
Yeah, that would make a lot of people fold, frustrated, and leave, but not you on this channel, because you're going to be trading with us throughout all of these conditions. And I want to see your results in the group. I want you guys to be active there. I want you to ask Rob questions and post your own ideas, and just participate in this action, because it's going to make you a better trader, and you're going to be ready for when conditions are easy and it's time to make a lot of money.
Yep. So I mean, right now, swing shorts are kind of easy, but it's just, you got to be patient. You got to wait. Like we've been SUI for a good 3-4 days now. We just hit 100% profits with 10% move to the downside. That's 2x if you're using 10x leverage. So it's just having the patience and letting it play out. We're just hitting a take profit right now in it, and it's just being easy. I didn't post hype in the short group. I just said, hey, this is an idea. And sometimes I can't keep up with all the charts that I post on it. And this is one I also posted on X as well too. And if you know my strategy, I don't have to write, like I'm going to show my X post right here. Like, let's see if it comes up here. But like, if you know, like the white line on my, the white squiggly lines on my charts are always the SMA 9, and I call them slap trades on there. And right there, it's like, boom, like right there. I'm like, I hype slap it. Like I don't want to, I do a lot of trading myself, and I post I think the best ones in group, and I follow up on them so people can learn. But sometimes in the chat room, I say, hey, check this out. And if you know my signals, you know what to look for already. You know what I mean? So I like to teach people to fish. I give people fish. I do kind of mix of all. So, but I can't keep up with everything myself. I'm only one person, you know? So I did post this in the chat room and group. And I also posted on my X account, which I call them slap trades. So if you ever follow me and you sit there and see me sit there and say slap, I mean short, because I think it's funny. And there's a little bit here why it's going downward. So I'm like, let's slap the token. And
Watchman knows about that one, the golden slap, the mother of all slaps.
So that's something there, and it's going down. Oh, let's just go ahead back into the token. So it's just one of those things that bears, and this was a token that I was like, while I was above it, I was like, let's keep an eye for a long on this one here. It kind of did nothing, had some bearish divergence, lost it, bearishly retested twice, and now it's dropping. And I think I have it in group here. We can go in there. I think I just posted it. Hype, I'm up 96% on it. And I think I've been in that in 3 days so far. So swing short, like 10% moves in 3 days. This is how it's playing out right now. And there's nothing that I can do about it. Nothing that you can do about that. That's just how the market's playing out right now.
Yeah, it's still phenomenal gains. You know, like you can still get in and out of the market. You can still make money in this market, guys. You just got to follow the mechanical rules and get in there and take advantage of the setups. Don't be afraid to take the trades, get your feet wet, start with smaller amounts, and claim your $100 bonus for free with our link below for signing up to BYDFI. I mean, no brainer right now, guys. And you know, something's going to happen sometime soon. We can't just go sideways forever. Bitcoin will make a move, and you want to be ready for it, and also get prepared for the next altcoin setup. So that being said, I think that's it for today, guys. Thank you for all the chat. You know, Watchmen, thank you for not minding the rants and just the discussion as civilized people, as you say, Megan, and just understanding everybody's position in the world and being able to chat. Have this amazing community, guys. We appreciate each and every single one of you for tuning in during these bear market bottom low sentiments, because you guys are going to be the real ones that win. Okay. So I'm so proud of all of you and happy to have you here. Rob, amazing as always. And guys, we will tune back in tomorrow, and hopefully, you know, something will have happened in the market, but we'll give you some updates. And for now, that's it for today on this fine Tuesday. And we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Have a great one.
See you all tomorrow. You can't speak today.